What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Pete's Carport. I want to thank you guys again for joining me as I kind of venture into trying to fix some of these awesome cars, bringing these Mercedes back to life, and also working on some other projects like the SC300. So, with that said, I put a little survey out there. I know I don't have a ton of subscribers, but several of you guys chimed in and wanted to see either the SC300 or the S600 V12 as the next project car. So with all of that said, I just picked up this 190E that none of you guys selected as the car you wanted to see being restored next. I'm totally fine with that because the SC300 that is right over there is my daily driving car that I haven't been able to get back to daily driving because I've got it partially apart. I got it all prepped for paint. I just haven't set the paint area up yet, and what I mean by paint area, we're going to be plasti dipping it. So my main focus now is going to be that, but I need to get this 190E started so I can move it around the lot so I can make some room. We're going to basically get the fuel system back together. I'm not going to worry too much about the radiator if that's leaking, but we want to get her started and be able to move it around the lot so that when we're doing things we can kind of move every car in here. So what we're going to be doing on today's episode is cleaning out our fuel system. Now, this is something I've never done. I haven't even done it out of a vehicle, but I did some research, and what I came across was that you can basically rinse it out as long as you let it dry out, and you can use a degreaser or some sort of acidic chemical to either remove the rust, dirt, debris, all that stuff. Right now, I just want to make sure that most of the debris is out of it. My goal in the near future is to basically pull the system out, or redo the fuel tank if needed, and try to restore this the best I can. And we're going to do kind of a retro mod type thing to this. We are not going to be bringing it back to its original, like, detailed 1985 condition. We're going to be doing some really cool modern style lights on it. We're going to be playing around with the body kit that's already on here and doing a paint job as well, maybe a plasti dip. But we need to get this thing so that we can move it around the lot. So let's go ahead. I'm going to set up my hose here. And I've never done this before, but I'm going to walk you guys through it. And if it works out the way that I'm hoping, I will be uploading this video and sharing it with you guys so that you can comment. Let me know how you guys do this. Whether you pull your whole tank out, whether you just hook a hose up to it, or maybe you got a special solution that you found out there. When I went to the auto parts store, there was nothing specific for cleaning out a fuel tank, which kind of blew my mind because I would think this is something people want to do all the time on these older cars. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that out because we are putting a new fuel pump filter and everything on. I don't want those to get clogged right away, and this will help prevent that. So let me get set up and I'll walk you through what I'm going to do. Alright guys, so I went ahead, I got the hose hooked up, I got it crimped right now, but as you can see, I've got my fuel line undone, and that should allow it to flush right out. So let's go ahead and see if this works. Go ahead and put the hose in here, and I'm going to go ahead and uncrimp it. Okay, and it's kind of gushing through there. Let's get down here and see if we're getting it to flush through. Okay guys, so as you saw there, the hose wasn't working because basically it was going out the overflow. On these type of cars, and most cars you have a little hole here where if you're filling gas it overflows. On these older vehicles it would just drain out the car, and as you can see earlier it was shooting out there. Now what I did was I went ahead and grabbed the pressure washer because that's actually what it listed online to use, and the nozzle allowed me to basically press into your fill cap here and get water down in there. After I did that, I wasn't getting any type of flow, and the reason why is because I had no back pressure and I think I had a massive clog in this line. And the reason why I have not taken this hose off is because the nut that holds it in is not wanting to come loose, and I don't want to strip it and have an issue. So what I'm going to do is, this whole hose needs to be replaced anyways. So I want to see if I can get it running, and then I'm going to bring it down to somebody with a lift, or I'm going to see if I can get another tool, a different style tool, just so I don't want to strip it. It's a very strange nut, and it's in a very strange location, really embedded up in there. But if you take that out, that's your best bet that's going to have typically a screen in it for a filter, and then you can change that out at the same time. Once I injected the other end, or this the actual pressure washer end, into that hose, I actually held off the other little exit hole, and it basically gushed out with a whole bunch of particles. So it was either clogged or I wasn't getting any back pressure, and then it just flowed really fast. I'll show you guys how fast it was flowing right now so you can see that. Okay guys, so the original plan, and from the research I did, was going to be to run a degreaser in there, let it sit in there for a few hours, pressure wash it back out, and that should get rid of all the grime. I actually feel very confident in the way that this is flowing now, and I feel like there might have just been a small backup just from sitting in this actual hose line, or that filter that usually is right at the bottom of the gas tank. And I'm getting very, very clean water flowing out and no particles and stuff like that. So I feel confident that I'm going to be able to start this car. Also, I'm impatient like most of you, and I'm excited getting the fuel pump in tomorrow, that I can hook it up, start this thing up, and at least move it around the area and put it off till I finish off the SC, and then jump back to this and then into the V12. So what I read online is that you want to let it sit 24 to 48 hours, and a lot of people said you can go ahead and use this heat stuff. I've used it before. It works great. So I'm going to let this thing dry out. I opened up the cap here with a little basically drill bit, and allowing that to kind of stay open. And obviously I've got the hose line draining out down there, which should allow it to just dry out in the next 24 hours. And then I'm going to add this to the fuel. I'll probably add a few gallons of fuel and try to get it started up. So yeah, that's really it guys on cleaning the fuel tank out. If you've got a process that you do, if you saw something I did completely wrong, if you have some recommendations, I'd love to hear it guys, because this is really the first time I've ever tried to do a fuel tank, and I've never even pulled the fuel tank and did it, and that is actually the proper way. There's a lot of things to remove to get to this fuel tank. Like most cars, I did not want to deal with that, trying to slide up underneath this car today. I just wanted to make sure that I was going to have the proper fuel flowing to my fuel pump that wasn't all gummed up and backed up. And so by shooting the water down into the tank and pressure washing it, I feel like I've removed any of the bottom debris, anything that's clogged up in there, so we can be safe to basically have our fuel filter out any other particles that might still be remaining. So let me know what you guys think. This is Pete. I'm Pete. This is Pete's Carport. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. I know this wasn't the coolest video in the world, but I wanted to fill you in where I'm at with the different projects that we're doing. Have a great day and have a blessed week, folks. One last thing, guys. I went ahead and pulled one of the wheel ramps out to angle it so that we have a downward slope, and that allows it to drain out even more. That way tomorrow it'll be fully dried out and I'll be able to hook up the fuel pump and get it started. Have a great day.